proudest day and the proudest time in the seat of a rally car, because that day and that hour and those minutes, I got the bit between my teeth. You know, I really stood up and was counted and said, this is not getting away. I remember when we pulled on our helmets and Donald says to me, what are we doing? I said, we're going for gold, Barrett. That's all was said. I can still picture that run. That was just the best run ever.
Welcome along to Krunching Gears, the Rally Podcast, Season 3, Episode 40. And Connor, we're going to talk rallying once again.
Yeah, we are indeed, and it's all about the Wexford Rally.
Yeah, the Wexford, and we look forward to the Bushwhacker as well too. But before we start, can you please like, share, rate, subscribe? Make a huge difference, and appreciate all the feedback this last few weeks as well. But yeah, the Wexford Rally had everything. We had summer sunshine, we had winter rain, we had it all, and what a fantastic 2 days of rally.
Look, we had Andy on a couple of times talking about and we knew what to expect and what we were looking forward to, and it certainly seemed to deliver. And fantastic setup, great feedback from the competitors, a well-run, well-organised event.
That's for sure. And listening to Kelly and Andy, everybody they spoke to, how great the event was, and most of them it was their first time going as well too. I think Kelly said something like 80% of people, he just roughly gauged of the 80% of people that he spoke to, it was their first time at the event. And I would say 80% of them will go back again, because everybody seemed to love the event. It just seemed to run like clockwork, and fantastic stages, real welcome, and club and the local community really took it to heart as well.
Look, absolutely. As you say, ran like clockwork, great event. And what did it give us? It gave us a return to the top step of somebody we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, that's for sure. Declan Boyle back at number one. Your heart has to go out to Daniel Cronin and Donegal, his co-driver as well too. Heartbreaking for them. A few stages from the end, I think it was a turbo issue put them out. They drove a fantastic rally, but nobody could begrudge Declan and Patrick Walsh the one.
No, absolutely not. And again, we're seeing maybe it's just the Skodas are replacing the Polos, but it hasn't taken Declan long to settle into the Skoda, and great to see another solid result for the car on Irish tarmac.
That's for sure. And 2 brilliant days in the car for him, running the dry and running the wet as well too. What a brilliant way of acclimatising to the car as well.
That's it, exactly. Fantastic opportunity, try both sets of settings, and to get loads of experience. And again, it is that back-to-back seat time. It's fantastic for him, and hopefully, we'll see him out in the not too distant future.
That's for sure. And and then I think Donegal look out in the podium. David Kelly. David probably wouldn't mind me saying he maybe hadn't the best start to the rally. Just seemed to struggle to get back up to speed again. But Sunday he just different level again. He set some fantastic times and come back and got second overall. And then Michael, Declan's son, was in the mix right from the get-go, second, third, the whole weekend, and he took third at the finish up. And himself and David Kelly had a real good battle on the Sunday. And I speak to Declan and Michael and Matthew Boyle as well too, and they're just still buzzing from it a few days later.
That's it. And again, you mentioned the Sunday, the battle with David, but even on Saturday, he was fairly pushing his dad as well, at times.
Yep, that's for sure. And then the two-wheel drive, again, heartbreak for Jason Black and Carl Egan, having a fantastic run. And then just I think it was the wipers actually packed up on them, just something so simple. And wipers is a crazy thing. It just seemed to give a wild lot of bother in a rally car, but you'd never think of them in the road car. They're just there, but in a rally car at the speed them guys is doing, they have to work.
That's it. And we've seen it before, particularly seen it in the WRC rounds, and they can be so temperamental, and they're probably the least tested part of a rally car, because it's not that often they're needed, but when they're needed, they're needed.
That's for sure, yeah. And then, James Stafford then was starting to find his feet, and unfortunately he had to retire. But through it all then come Jonathan Pringle then too. A fantastic run for him then as well too, really was. and like we catch up with him, and he talked about Sunday, real tricky conditions, real testing, just like you can imagine a 2.5 car in those treacherous conditions, shiny tire. You'd have to be very careful.
Oh, listen, you have to be very careful and very confident. Like your grip levels must be minimal, So like it really was a fantastic performance.
Yeah, that's for sure. But like all in all, a fantastic rally. Oh, well, yeah, we better mention the Rally 4 category. We speak to Matthew Boyle as well. I think Matthew had a fantastic run. He has showed great promise this year, and I think this should give him great confidence from last weekend. Controlled Rally 4 right through from basically from the start to the finish. The wee whoopsie on early Saturday, but wasn't long putting that behind him. Set great times the whole weekend. Real strong, really mature performance there as well.
Yeah, look, absolute solid drive from Matthew. And again, more to come from him. And to be honest, I'm loving the Rally 4 category. I think we've had a tremendous year of it. Whatever rally we've looked at, there's been some great fights and some great battles. And I think it's been a fantastic addition to Irish rallying.
That's for sure. Because, not so many years ago, homologated cars, were nearly a bad word almost. And it's great to see, so many guys have won, down the R5 Rally 2, and especially now the young guys coming up through now. The amount of them's going down the Rally 4, and there's even now starting to be a few Rally 3s appear now too, which we've long championed that as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's taken the time, and funny that the Rally 3 categories might be being so slow to take off. But yeah, they are starting to trickle into the events. And, I suppose that's only going to increase next year as we see more people taking to them.
That's for sure. That's for sure. But anyway, without enough of us talking, first let's hear from the Boyle family. We speak to Declan, Michael, and Matthew, and then that'll roll in then to Johnny Pringle. What a weekend for Boyle Motorsport. Declan, you got that one again. Nice to taste the champagne, I was saying, Sunday evening.
Definitely was good to win it. To be fair, well, it was Michael that said to me to go to it, and I probably wouldn't have went at all only for that. And great to win it. It's been 6 years since the one before that in Achill Island and Mayo. And when time goes on and I had the Citroen and things weren't going great for me for a long time, and I suppose I thought I would never win a rally again. And traveling along, and that's I think it was 16, 17, 18, 16, yeah, stage 16. When I saw Daniel Cronin in the distance going through a chicane, I thought, who the hell is this? And obviously it was him. And then suppose Patrick said to me straight away, listen, you need to listen to me now. He was giving out to me already before just as at a blink of an eye. And it was hard to listen to him because I knew well, it's mine now. All I need to try and do is stay ahead here now and hold on to it. I don't know, 24, 25 seconds at that stage. But it wasn't easy to do it because it was a long time since I was in that position to try and hold on to it.
Yeah, and the conditions were so tricky as well too. It didn't help.
Yes. And as harder the day goes on, you do get quicker too because you're getting more familiar with where you're going and the shiny tire and everything's getting braver. So I had to try and manage that, stay on the road, stay ahead of Michael, stay ahead of David Kelly, which was coming hard behind. And it wasn't easy, but we got the head down anyway and done it.
Very good, Rick. And what an event it was! A superb event. And you've seen Kelly and Andy going round on Saturday morning. He said, 80-90% of people, it was the first time doing it. It was an event you would highly recommend.
Definitely, the way that they ran it, it was like a WRC event. Even on the recce, you knew exactly where you're going. Everything was marked out properly. I think the whole rally ran on time, maybe 2 minutes or something like that over the whole rally. So it was well organised, a great event. I always heard it was a good event, and I definitely go back again. It's just a pity it's not around or something as well that you would definitely have to go to it. But if I'm living in Wales, I have to go back now next year anyway.
and Michael, for yourself, another podium. That's your second podium, and it didn't fall into your lap. You fought for this, right from the first stage. You were in the mix as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. We had a good start. I think at the first stage we were maybe 0.5 or something off fastest, so we had a good start. A couple of little, suppose, negative things then. Few things, my own fault as well. I had a spin, and then on the, we had a good first day. I think we were lying third then. That stage 3, really suited Dad there. He had a clean sweep of fastest times in it. So so it was funny because like the first stage sort of it seemed to suit me, and then the third stage sort of suited him, and then obviously Daniel was going hard on every stage. So he was definitely going hard. But then on Sunday morning, then it was like, as I say, a different season altogether. It was like Galway International weather. So we had to, dramatically change the car then on I think it was we went out and done the first three stages. And on this first service, we changed the setup big time. And that was a big help because on the first loop there, I think on the second stage, our third stage, we had two chicanes and lost maybe 15 or 16 seconds. So that sort of opened the gap then for David Kelly, because I think he was maybe 25 or something down starting that day. Yeah. So it opened the gap for him, and he pushed hard, and he's both capitalized on it as well. But we had a good race, and it was good crack, and brilliant to have a Donegal 1, 2, 3, I suppose.
It really was like that. What speaks volume for we often say how good the rallying is here in Donegal, and that the weekend just showed it. It was real on the seat of your pants stuff. Like, it was so exciting, even sitting here in Donegal, staying tuned into it all. I can only imagine what it must have been like in the cars.
Yeah, definitely brilliant. And here, in fairness, I suppose we always we have to give big credit there to Killian Duffy, because he really puts it, rallying on the map for us all. And it's, the amount of ones now that would even say to you, oh, I seen you out rallying at the weekend. And these people mightn't have a notion about a rally car or any kind of car for that, but they tune in because they love the coverage and love I suppose, the atmosphere and the hype about it. And Killian really, I suppose, sells that.
Aye, himself and Andy, they ramp it up. You get dragged into it, and you're pumped up yourself.
Yeah, even there an odd time, after the rally and you doing the rally, you might go back and watch an odd stage, and you know what happened at that stage, but you're still, and you're thinking, geez, this is mad. But it's it is really good, and I suppose here, fair play to Killian and Andy and the whole team there, that they definitely put on a good show. And as Dad said there, Wexford and the Motor Club, from start to finish, they were really welcoming, and it's definitely here a brilliant event. And down to, I suppose, the recce, everything being marked out for you, all them sort of things, when you are writing your own notes, and it just makes everything click and makes it all fall into place better when it is well organized. So it's a credit to them.
For sure. And Matthew, I think the one thing that I hear a lot of people saying, it was an event run by competitors for competitors, and I think that's shone through. I think you were running a wee bit further back, and you didn't probably lose a stage all weekend, did you?
Didn't lose one stage. Now, I think one of the stages was about 2 minutes late. I think the whole rally ran 2 minutes late, and it was because one of the lads in front of us went off and blocked the road for couple of minutes, but that was it. So I didn't miss one stage. Now it was good. It was running 35 on the road, but normally you wouldn't miss one. But no, never missed nothing. Got the whole 18 stages. So
and that's over 2 days, full 18 stages. That's
stages,
brilliant. That is for you. That's what you want. That's seat time for you.
Exactly. And even on Sunday there with the wet, not one stage blocked too. So no, credit even all the drivers and everything to keep it on the road.
Yeah, and what an event you had! You were the class act in the Rally 4-2-8. Practically not fast as maybe not in every stage, but the majority of the stages.
Majority of the stages, surely. On the first, and the second stage of the day on Saturday, we had a bloody bank, and that kind of flipped us up for a wee while. But no, we came back out of service then, and we rizzed the car up, and it handled better. So we took it from there, and we got it. Thank God.
Yeah, because they're quite a unique nature to the stages down in Wexford too. There's a kind of a sandy surface on them almost too.
Sandy surface, surely, and the Saturday stages weren't your typical Wexford stages. There were that were very choppy in places as well, which didn't really suit the setup I thought that Wexford was going to be. I lowered the car and stiffened it, and next thing I could barely see out the windscreen. But no, we softened it off in service then and rizzed it a wee bit, so it worked out in the end up, yeah.
You need a cushion down below you now.
A cushion below you, surely. No, sometimes you can along some of them straights and you can barely see out the window because the car be shaking that much. You'll be thinking, where's the road going now? But no, I enjoyed it now. Great rally.
Yeah, for sure. And Declan, the Skoda, it's just, you've just slotted in there. It's fitting like a glove almost.
The Scottish, yes, is a good tool. The Citroen just didn't suit me. Suspension in it and three rights. One right is fastest for me. So three rights, I just couldn't take them. You were sort of slow going in and fast coming out, or you had to lift anyway, and it didn't suit. But the Skoda, the suspension now in the Skoda is a great job. The gearing's probably slightly different, a wee bit different there too, than a Polo. It is a Polo, but obviously it's more advanced because it's newer and everything else. So great car, and it does what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
Brakes is good on it too. Nice gearbox. Yes, good car. I like it.
Yeah,
Really like it.
and the fact that you got a day in the dry and a day in the wet, that's going to stand to you now going forward as well.
Well, when I opened the curtains on Sunday morning and looked out the window and saw the rain and the wind blowing the rain and the whole place is open, I thought, how am I going to drive this thing today? No setup,
Well,
the
you never
car
drove it
was
in the wet before.
hard. Yes, hard for the day before, and I needed a wet setup, so we managed to soften it off anyway. Every stage we're softening away it, and no matter how you're softening it, wasn't getting soft enough. But anyway, enough to get it to twist and turn. We could have done with a softer spring, but we just hadn't got them. And but listen, we have a good setup now. We know what to do now for the next day. It's rivers in the wet. They're great in the wet. But no, a good car all round.
Yeah. And
Yes.
you said that it was 6 years since your last one. Like, does that start to play in your mind? Is it hard to still get the same motivation? Like, you're a winner. You said the last time we spoke that, after winning your first event, Chris Meek told you it was never finishing second, it was never going to be good enough again.
That's
Like,
right,
is,
yeah.
is that desire still there? You
It's
still
still
every
the
rally
same.
you go to, you want to win.
Yes, of course. And listen, you can do it, but there's things stopping you, and that's what keeps you. I don't give in easy, and I keep going and going and going. And whether it's in business or rallying or whatever you do, you don't give in easy, and you can do it, but you just can't, just couldn't take it out of the cars. And but listen, I think there's potential in this car. Now, don't get me wrong. You have Callum Devine, and you have the Keith Cronin, and Daniel's bad enough, and Keith's worse. So yeah, you have these lads. But listen, whatever far away we were in the past with the Citroen, we definitely should be a bit closer now, and we have a car that we can drive, and it'll twist and turn with you. A great chassis in it.
Yeah.
So, and it makes you're more confident in it anyway.
For sure, for sure. And like Michael, from your point of view too, like the way you've developed on now this year, like you've ratcheted it up to another level. Do you feel there's still more to come yet?
I definitely do, yeah. I feel, I suppose here for me, I find that it's all in the recce. It's all, trying to get the right recce done, get your lines, it's all in the note. And then I suppose the biggest thing I find in the R5 in the class there, these lads, if you don't commit to your notes and believe in your notes on that first pass, they just will crucify you. So, it's just about believing in that straight away. I do feel the Polo is still a good car, even though it is probably getting that bit older, but I still feel it's done well at the weekend. Daniel, I suppose, led majority of the weekend. We had a couple of good times. David Kelly had a few good times. Even looking back, I suppose, at Donegal there, the Polo still set a couple of fastest times. So, no, it's a good car, and I'm going to stick with it for another while. Before the weekend there, I probably struggled with a wet setup a bit too, but we done a good few changes there on Sunday, and I feel now we definitely have the best wet setup that we've ever had. So hopefully now we can, the next day it is raining, you know what to do and what to turn to and the changes to make. So hopefully you'll hit the ground running that bit quicker.
Yeah, because it's having the confidence to make them changes and be prepared to do that. Because as you say, if you don't do it, everybody else is doing it, and you're going to be left behind.
Yeah, yeah, and you can't be afraid to do an odd change, and you suppose it's no different there on the last loop. I think we were laying fourth going into it before Daniel went out, and Dad there was going on full wets. David Kelly was going on full wets, and I thought, well, if I go and do the same as them, I'm just going to be the same. So I have to try something a wee bit more dramatic here to see if it'll work in my favor. I suppose then Daniel went out, and I knew I was on the podium at that stage, so I just didn't want to risk going that far and maybe putting it off the road or whatever. But we went on the slick tire, and I think, to be fair, out of the 3 stages, it was probably the right choice to do. Even though the last probably 2 or 3 K of the last stage was, lethal slippy. But no, definitely happy. No, good weekend overall.
And like Matthew, for you, like this has to be like it's not your first Rally 4-1, but this is probably the most impressive. You strung it together over a full 2 days. Now, does that have to give you great confidence now going forward?
It'll give me good confidence now going into the likes of Cork and the Harvest, because at least now you have a wet setup. I had a wet setup before, but I kind of nearly forgot about it, and I changed springs and I did a lot of different things to the car. But now I have 2 different setups for dry and wet now, and bumpy and smooth tire and everything. So it'll definitely help get into the likes of Garn Hill and a few of them stages and the Harvest and stuff like that.
Yeah, because the locals coming up now, the Harvest, not too far from home, and like that's going to be it's going to be nearly as hot and heavy as the international, because it's sure to attract all the top names.
It'll attract all the top names, surely. So I think Ryan McHugh's going there too, so he'll not be handy a bit. And a few of them top lads to race Michael and Dad there, Devine and all them boys. It's part of the national as well, so you'll have plenty of competition.
And like you're hearing all this chat about the Rally 5s and Rally 2 cars and all, is the notion on you?
Of course, there's always a notion, so there is, but I don't know if I'm just ready for an R5 yet now, but I'm sure I'll look into something with 4-wheel drive soon enough, hopefully.
Declan's not too sure.
I know. Oh, they're looking flat out, eh?
Oh, you can look all you want.
Yeah.
But Michael, you're not doing Cork, but I would say you're raring to go now for the Harvest.
Well, no, I have an entry in for
you
Cork.
have, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
I do, yeah. So, well, I'm hoping to go down, yeah, and give it. It'll be a nice, I suppose the break after Donegal. It was a couple of months. We done Galway summer. I suppose I only got doing a couple of stages. I went out with a mechanical fault, but even doing that before Wexford, even doing the recce, getting the 2 or 3 stages that I did do, when you are out often, it definitely makes a difference that, you hit the ground, running, and you're just on the ball that bit quicker, because even writing notes after not being at it for a while, you kind of be just that bit rusty. So no, hopefully we'll go to Cork and maybe get a clean run, and it'll maybe set us up nicely for the Harvest then.
Yeah. And Declan, that is the whole thing with the seat time. It's so vital, isn't it? You can't even afford now to take 2 months out of the seat, because you almost forget how it's all done.
Yes, that's the one. And, I was saying the weekend too, some people left the sport and it's very hard to come back to it then. But if I was to leave it, you would never catch up to speed with these lads. So you have to keep going and going. And as you say, Donegal is a long time away there now. We done Galway since there's a help, and Cork will be a help now. And hopefully if we get round Cork, get to the Harvest. But seat time's the one. Yes, with anything, you have to be at it.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose then, final question to yourself, like that's 26 ones now. There's a desire to keep pushing on and keep getting more ones now?
Well, listen, we squeezed one out of it there now, and listen, it's like betting on a horse. The worst thing that can happen is one. So we've won now, so we'll have to go again. Well, thanks, Kevin. Well, we have a couple of people, I suppose, that I'd like to thank. Johnny Crozier there, and the daughter there, Clarice, and the young lads there too on the team, the mechanics, and done a great job, all weekend and always do. And then we have the likes of Terry McCall there. Does a lot of running around for us as well, and he looks after all the tyres for us and does a lot of things in the background. We have a gravel crew there too, between Brendan McGahey and Bob Moore and all these people that help us. So these people, there's a good team there behind us too. Adam Platt, of course, then helping the lads there too, and all the young mechanics there too. So there's a lot in the background there helping to keep the show on the road.
Yeah, and then Patrick Walsh, Paddy McCrudden stepped in as well.
Well, exactly. We wouldn't have the Navigators.
Definitely, no. The Navigators is a big one, yeah. And Dermot, he was away for me. He missed out on this one, but I say he'll not miss out on too many more. Maybe after.
You better be careful that Paddy fella be taking the seat.
That's right. He's nearly part of the family now. He's sat with the two just now. So Matthew,
yes.
You watch that Paddy man behind beside you, Matthew. Before too long.
And John, the manager. We have John, the manager there too.
He hires them all out at a reasonable fee.
He does.
Yeah, John would take he would take the fame that he taught them all, but I don't know if that's true either.
He has probably forgot more than he ever taught them. Johnny Pringle, Wexford the weekend, and what a titanic battle the modified guys had once again this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. Look, it was a superb weekend there. Like the guys there, everyone was at a big pace early on, and throughout the whole day, it was second for second, and massive battle there with Jason and John there. Yeah, it was really the three of us there bunched up for the whole day.
Yeah, because like that started right from the first stage Saturday right through. Like Stafford, like, started to stick his nose in, but unfortunately he was forced to retire probably about midway Saturday.
Yeah,
Like even before that, Jason was beating them, but now Stafford was starting to come into his own. He was starting to settle, but
yeah.
it just shows you the pace that you guys are on now. That a few years ago, like, nobody would come close to Stafford and Wexford.
No, that's right. When we lifted the trophy yesterday evening there, like it has his name, I think 5 times on it there, but not too many names on that trophy. You have Adrian Heatherton has won. Stafford could be 4 or 5 times. Gareth Kieran and Mark Alcorn, so he knows the area down there. Look at he goes well. It's a local event to him, and yeah, look, he was coming into his own there towards the middle loop or that. But yeah, no, the guys like in Galway and Daniel, like just didn't maybe suit this. The stage might have just suited Darian the first one and two. It was tricky, just like Galway.
And like whenever you guys find your feet, like there must be no better feeling than a 2.5 car, especially on dry tarmac like there was on Saturday.
Yeah, look, it was brilliant. Like we went hard tires from the get go. The other guys sort of went on a medium sort of tire. Maybe it was a better option, but look at we stuck with it there, and it worked out well. Like, but yeah, look at there was massive speed involved there. Like that stage, two and three, we'll say on the each loop there was big lines and big 6 gear, maybe fifth gear sort of sliding about a little bit. It was yeah, it was good. It was good fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it was new territory for everybody. We often say, oh, local knowledge and all that, but like you hear like whenever Killian and Andy was chatting to everybody, like he says 80-90% of people that was the first time in Wexford, and like everybody just loved the event as well.
Yeah, look at Jason's first time in Wexford, my first time. It might have been. I'm not sure about John. I think it could have been the same.
I
Yeah,
think
it
he said
was
he'd been
brilliant.
back in the 1600 days maybe or something. It's been a long
Yeah,
time since he's
yeah,
been too.
possibly. Yeah, but like the event, the ceremony, the start off even with the way it was all laid out, the road books, the marking out of the stages on the previous Sunday. You wouldn't need a road book. It was so easily laid out. The club put on a really brilliant event there, and it was well organized and really enjoyable stages. Like I think the stages, someone sort of said, like you only about 20-40 kilometers maybe short of a Donegal kilometers
Right.
in a 2 day rally. So
Yes.
it was a big weekend to organize.
Yeah, because and like I think that was the phrase that I kept hearing over and over again was as organized by competitors for competitors, and I think that shone through as the way you say like the way the recce ran, the way that every stage just ran right on the button of time and everything.
Yeah, right on the button. Like we weren't hanging about too long there anywhere. Like even on the Sunday when the rain was really bad on Sunday there in probably the first 6 stages, like everyone, like they all ran on time. There was no issues out there, and the marshals and everything they'd done a great job out there. It was very tricky out there and horrible conditions for timekeepers, everyone there. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was such a rally of so mixed weather. Like Saturday, lovely, dry, blue skies at times, and then
Yeah.
you almost the sun cream need it, and then Sunday it was the wet weather gear again.
Yeah, and we didn't expect it to be so wet. Like I didn't expect we were in. I went up. I was on a soft slick, very foolishly on the first 3 stages on the Sunday, and got away with it on the first stage because it was a bit more grippier. But the second 2 stage and stage 2 and 3 there on the Sunday we got destroyed. But we were lucky enough. We changed tires. We went to that wide Prally on the back, and made a massive difference there. So thanks to Dave Minor on that there. We were on a Hoosier there on the front there with Adrian there. So it was a mix of all tires there. Everyone got a bit of us there the weekend.
But
Yeah.
like and I suppose conditions like that, there probably isn't an ideal tire, because like one tire can work good in one stage, and then the next stage it can not maybe not be completely wrong, but wouldn't be the preferred choice.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like I like that on stage one, the soft slick that we went on, and then we got a wide soft slick on the back worked for stage one because it's just that more grippier. But when I got to the other two, they just I think David Kelly, I think had the same problem. He had a great time there and on the first stage, and then the tire didn't suit to say the next two stages as well. So look, you live and learn. We got away with it there, I suppose. Maybe yeah.
And like talking about getting away with it, like that those conditions the amount of people that were having problems and having issues and having offs and one thing and another, it would been just so easy to throw it all away.
Yeah, look at on the second stage we spun there. On the third stage we had an overshoot in the reverse and away. We only lost 5 seconds, I think, in there to the guys. Like we were lucky. But yeah, we came in the service. We went through a few things in the notes through the in car. And we came up with a plan there. We sort of knew that we were going to have to go somewhere with a tyre there, and that rally on the back. We sort of learned from Kevin Eves in West Cork, probably, where we got a bit destroyed on the Saturday there. He was using that tyre in West Cork. So we said we'd have to try something here. So we went on that, and look at absolutely brilliant, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah, because I suppose that showed you like where Kevin got the time at from West Cork, and at least you put that to bed now as well too. That
Yeah,
the tyre
yeah.
makes such a huge difference to the car.
Yeah, oh yeah, massive difference. Like, you wouldn't think, like, if you look at that stage, we were in torrential rain, shiny tar. We were half a second a kilometre of the fastest R5 car. So it'll show you how good it is, like And look at we had a really good drive through it there as well, and was steady, and we needed it. Like we had to put a big push on for that middle loop, and it worked out.
Yeah, because like Jason had his problems, and you knew he was going to be coming like a train. And he wasn't going to let the one go easy. He was going to push you on to the last stage. And Jono as well was only like a half spin away too.
Yeah, John. Like it was all there for everybody to take, really. Like it was just. I think John just had a bit of a. I think he in that mid loop maybe he had an excursion into maybe a field or something like that. I think it was, and he was unlucky with that. Sort of maybe knocked his confidence a wee bit. But yeah, look at we had to keep a charge on the last three stages. I says, look at it's we said we had a 38-second lead or into the last three stages, and you're just sort of saying, look at I'm saying we still need to keep the push because the car doesn't feel right unless you're just going at near enough 10 tenths, like so. Just keep going with it, and then even into the last stage, we sort of kept going. We were 10 seconds up on our time on the last stage. I ended up the other side of it, badly the other side of it there, but it was so slippy.
Yeah,
The last 3 or 4 kilometers that last stage was horrendous stuff. Like I think Michael Boyle went off on it.
that's
You
right.
know,
Yeah, he lost the front
yeah,
bumper of the car. Yeah.
yeah, we crossed his front bumper there, and yeah, look, you were hemorrhaging time. You wonder there 38 seconds, maybe. Jesus, we could have thrown all that away, but no, worked out good. And
I can suppose then
Pierce,
your head starts to go there, doesn't it? You're
yeah,
looking
your
in the
head
mirror as
starts
you
to
start to
go.
hear noises coming in the car that's not even there, probably too, don't you?
No, it's not there. No, look at it. Look at Pierce kept the calm head in the car, and we got her to the end there, and thank God there we had no problems all weekend with the car. Really, it was fun to see with the lads there. Thank God, they're brilliant. The two guys in service with me, Colin and Rodney, and yeah, we had a great weekend there now.
Yeah, because like I suppose having the confidence that them guys in service, once you pull into service, you know what they're going to do, and you'll step back into a car that's ready and ready,
Mm.
perfect again. That lets you go and look over your DVD and lets you
Yeah,
get your clear for that few minutes as well.
yeah, and probably it's something maybe we've changed a little bit there ourselves this year. Like probably not as stressed out about stuff like that. We just let the guys do their thing, and we do our thing in service and concentrate on maybe other things. So yeah, no, it's working well there at the minute. There we've made changes there before Galway on the car, and it's really helped with a few things. And Galway was probably a little bit unlucky. We made the wrong tire choice in the middle loop. And that sort of cost us a few things in Galway. Probably again, if we break down Galway with a spin we had was about 0.3 of a kilometre off
Yeah.
Daniel. So they're the fine margins in that class, and That's what it is, you know.
Yeah, and like, that is that is the thing about it. Like point three, it's it's before you click your fingers. That's and that's
Yeah.
just you can't even afford to give that away now, can you?
No, over a kilometre there. Like
Yeah.
it's massive there, and a lot of it's in the braking there. Like even there the weekend there, you're trying to get as much out of the braking there. Like we ate through a full set of discs and pads over the weekend, even in the wet, you know. So yeah,
And like,
yeah.
do you carry like what happened in Galway forward now into? Are you trying to leave your braking that wee bit later in Wexford? Are do you evaluate that and say, right, because I lost that point three of a kilometre in Galway, I'm going to try and leave my braking that wee bit later. I'm going to try and fine tune this a wee bit more.
Yeah, no, we studied a few things there between that. Like there wasn't much of a gap because we had the car to prep and we had a recce. We done a recce the week before and the day before on the Sunday. But we knew like a lot of it's in braking into certain areas there, and there was a couple other wee small bits there we had to change and that. But it's coming there. It's thereabouts now, you know. But look at as I said before, like there's 10, 12 men there, we're all at the same thing, you know. So
Yeah, and everybody's trying to find that third, that point
yeah,
three, or and
yeah.
and it's probably it's continually evolving. You'll find that point three, but somebody else will find another point one somewhere else, and
Yeah. Look at these guys that like the Mickey Carmen there. For I mean, he's doing a brilliant job this year. A lot of seat time there, and he's come on there, nice smooth driving. Like learned a lot out of Evo probably through the years, and he's just he's coming well at it there. He's at the pace already, you know.
yeah, aye, and John O'Dugan, like every event he goes out, he's just getting faster and faster and faster,
Yeah,
and it's
no, look,
great to see this, isn't it?
yeah, it's great to see like John and Paul there putting a big effort in there, like everyone, like ourselves there, and they're spending the time on it there, and everyone's just hungry for the win. Like yeah, big pace.
Yeah, because even like the young guys like Jason and Carl there to yourselves, and then even Frank Kelly. Like Frank's been rallying for since God was a child, and like he still wants to push, and but he's still not letting just guys too far away either.
No. Frank's yeah, at the sharp end too. Like he is like it's just everyone just needs to click for him. Like and he's not that far away either. Like you wouldn't like you look over the weekend if that battle had to go. Everyone had to pull each other and we'd all go off. Like Frank was there just to, he
Get it
wasn't
up.
that ultimately far behind. Like,
No.
it's just, yeah, look, he's never to be discounted now, frankly.
No, because as you've gone on about, like point three, he even be only that 0.5 of a second, but
Yeah,
and like you're
yeah.
kind of, it's not, it's probably, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's not right to dismiss him because he's always
No,
there or
no,
thereabouts. Yeah, so
no. And we went into that event. You wouldn't, like, France from that event before, and we went into that event there. Like, there's several guys there. Like, Jono was definitely one of the guys who were, and then obviously, Jason and that, like, and Michael Cahill this year hasn't been too far behind either. Like, and the drier conditions, everyone can get up a bit quicker there and go and get a bit of confidence. So, we knew Stafford was never
yeah.
in reach really. Like,
Hmm.
we never really Darian there is not really to be looked at with our cars. Like, but yeah, look at yeah, there's plenty of men there.
Yeah, but I do think the Escort and the Starlet are closing the gap to the Darians as well too. I think like in Donegal, look at the way Declan pushed the Kevin Donegal. I do think that there's now if never never Kevin got the hammer down Sunday morning, it was a whole
Yeah,
different story too.
yeah. Look at it. Like the fair play to Declan, he really did
Yeah,
keep the push and put the pressure on Kevin, and Kevin, kept ahead. He is a cool customer,
yeah.
and then he just squeezed it on the Sunday there, But like when the Darien, look, the stages, if they're there, the Darien will be there, and that's it. Like you're not race them cars. Like
No. Hmm.
aerodynamically alone, like we're driving a brick compared to them things. So
Yeah, and like
yeah.
I suppose, but before we move on to the Wexford as well too, like that was two national rallies. That like for seat time alone, like
Mm.
and that you talked about the mileage there earlier. Like that's just a brilliant experience for somebody like you that's trying to to push and find the limit to get 2 full days in a car. And we talked before we come on air here about hard to get somewhere to test. That was just the perfect weekend for you.
Yeah, perfectly. Coming off Galway 2 weeks before, was a good help as well. Like, and yeah, 2 days. Like, I've never really done. I think that's only my third event. Maybe we done West Cork this year, and maybe one other 2 day event there years ago. But I've never done that before. Enjoyed it. It's different, like doing 2 days, and that's my fourth time ever winning a modified over 2 days or anything like that. So yeah, no, we're real happy with that over the weekend.
Yeah. And do you feel it taking it out of you physically and mentally 2 days of rallying as well?
You would, like, like, there's a lot of preparation. When we got back, and I actually had a bit of a muscle spasm in my arm there towards the end of the Saturday, and just we when we came home, then you have to sort of sit down and re-prep the lads for what we're doing in the morning with tires. Who's going to be getting up early to do this? Maybe talk to a few people about who's back there on those stages, trying to get information gathered up, and then we would sit and go through all the notes again. And it goes on till maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then you're up at 6 on Sunday morning again. So
And getting yourself into that headspace again that you need to go
yeah,
go at it again.
yeah, go at it again there. Yeah. No, and like, Pierce is doing his notes and he's checking everything, and he done a brilliant job there the weekend for us there, and as always there, and yeah, look at it's a tricky job there. My notes there, probably there's a lot in them, so it's difficult to get a lot of stuff out there. It probably puts them under a bit of pressure there, but yeah, look, we might have to look at trimming them down a bit in the future. Yeah.
But it's working, say, sometimes, when something's working, you don't want to mess with it either, too.
Oh yeah. No, look, we are, and that's another big thing we change. Making a lot more braver, probably notes as well there in the last while there, and it's working out. But look at again, it's on the limit there. Like the braver notes, you can make them a little bit more than like the likes of Wexford, because the roads are a bit wider. You can let the car, to get that a couple more inches out there, that you can run off maybe towards the verge, or that you can make them brave notes and sort of chance them, a little bit.
If it's somewhere like Galway or something like that, you wouldn't have that, that.
No.
Yeah,
so they're too narrow. Like they're too narrow to maybe sort of push it too much.
Yeah, and a lot has been said about Wexford at the weekend too. Like it probably really deserves a place at the very least, the national championship, and definitely, it will stand up against a lot of the international rounds as well.
Oh yeah, like absolutely. Like I say, setting of that rally out in Park Ferme along the docks there, and it is fabulous there. Like, and then yeah, look at it. Say it's so competitive, friendly there, and it was just a real good rally, relaxing rally to do, and easy, very easy going. It does deserve a lot more credit than it's maybe given, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and the crowd that was there on the Friday night for the ceremonial start, it looked spectacular. The photos and the videos I've seen of it.
Yeah, it was very, very good. So it was like the streets were just lined. I haven't seen, Killarney was something similar there to historics there. I'd say there's actually bigger crowds than Killarney there on Friday night there. Yeah, there's a big following down there with rallying, it seems to be, and a lot of good. Nice to see a lot of people out there and talking to people, and yeah, it was a lovely night for it as well. The weather was lovely, and yeah, it was good atmosphere. And
yeah, because we keep saying we need to bring the rally to the people. Like there'll be people there that maybe would never seen a rally car before and get inspired and maybe go out and watch the stages or maybe help out marshalling. And then as you say, the way they had the Park Ferme along the docks and all, that spectacular settings there as well too.
Yeah, beautiful, and I believe there was like a couple of 52-seater buses from Wales over, spectating into the stages. And we met a couple of buses in around them areas when you're going between stages, all right. But yeah, there was a lot of following over the weekend. It was big crowds, crowd.
Yeah, and I suppose because it's so close to the ferry port, ideal for people coming over from Wales or anything like that then as well.
Yeah. Look at it for competitors, and yeah, you're getting a big mix there of people there as well. Historic cars, and yeah, you seen Scott Williams over there the weekend there as well, and. There's plenty of guys over from Wales, yeah.
And like that car of Scott Williams looks phenomenal as well too. And like whenever he gets his feet too, he's not going to be too far away either, is he?
No. Look at it. I was chatting him there for a few minutes there on a Saturday, Friday evening there, and yeah, look, he's that car traded in for some guys a new one coming. So yeah, she's for sale anyway. Yeah. He hasn't time to build a new one for himself, he said,
Gee, mad. And then what about yourself then? where to next, I suppose.
Yeah, look at it. I don't know. We have an entry in for Donegal now. Look at it. It's all dependent there. The navigator has a bit of a job on there. He's two babies to deliver just before that, so he's twins on the way. So we'll see what happens there.
So thanks very much there to the Boyle family and to Johnny Pringle as well too. I really enjoyed those chats there, no doubt about that. And then this weekend coming up, we have the Omagh Grand Prix, the Bushwhacker Rally. You know, what can we say that hasn't been said about the Bushwhacker? It's always a fantastic event. We said a couple of weeks ago it's going to have to go some to top the Lakeland, which was a fantastic rally. It was like, I thought this is it. You know, the cream was risen to the top. But Omagh Motor Club once again, Connor, pulled it out of the bag. Over 100 entries. The stages are looking fantastic. I've seen a couple of wee clips there from Killian and from Patterson's as well too. Put up, you know, just it's only maybe a wee minute long clip or whatever. But the stage is looking absolutely top notch condition.
Yeah, they do. They look good, and if the weather holds, you know, it'll be fantastic for the event. And we all love a bit of dust on a gravel event.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, touch wood. You know, the weather has been fantastic up to now. So, yeah, what can we say? That entry list. Where do you even start about going to pick a winner there? There's what, 10 probably. You know. But then Patrick O'Brien and Stephen coming back. They're looking for their 4 in a row. Like, we thought 3 would be difficult, but 4's definitely not going to be any easier, is it?
No, it's not. But come here. I know you're talking about picking a winner. I'm still looking forward. There's some scores to be settled there from the Lakelands, and I'm looking forward to that. Yeah,
that's that. Yeah, this is you know, there's still a job on. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so the 4-wheel drive is going to be epic. The 2-wheel drive is going to be another level again, and then you know the Rally 4 guys there as well. You know, with a few of the MI Rally Academy Junior guys there as well too. So yeah, it's going to be just superb, and like, you know, 6 stages, nearly 42, 41 something mile long. Like, that's going to be flat out from the word go. There's going to be no bedding yourself in. That's going to be, you know, flat from the first corner onwards.
Yeah, and look, to be honest, the way rallying is at the moment, nobody can afford to bed themselves in anymore. You have to be on it from the, you know, the flag or the lights going out on the first stage type of thing, or turning green, and it has to be all go.
That's for sure. That's for sure. You know, and you know the motor club once again this year. You know, they have the road closing, so they use that to connect up their forest stages and all. And that really brings it into a different dimension again. Then too, you know, it gets some good, decent stages and all too, and the really great service area there. And Omagh Town, you know, that brings you know, brings it to the people that we keep talking about as well.
Yeah, it is. And again, you know, it's well centered, it's well located. The road mileage isn't too much either. You know, it's pretty decent. And, you know, it's a compact enough event. It's pretty good from that perspective as well.
That's for sure, yeah. But anyway, we're not going to talk any more about it. We're going to hear from Lewis Boyd and Ronnie McAleer. The Omagh Grand Prix this weekend, and I'm joined now by Lewis Boyd and Ronnie McAleer. Lewis, yes, once again, Omagh Motor Club has pulled out all the stops, and you know, it looks on paper as if it's going to be an absolutely fantastic rally once again.
We think it will be. We're really, really excited for it, Kevin. You know, I suppose leading up to the event, we don't really know how many people are going to support our event, but the support has been awesome from the competitors out there. And we knew there was a buzz of excitement, you know, a number of weeks ago whenever we posted pictures basically of the forest. The forests are in pristine condition. Killeater, Carrigaholton and Loch Braden, and we're using, you know, parts of the forest that we actually have never used before, one portion of it, and parts that we haven't used for at least 12 years. So we're really excited for the event. We think this will give an added bonus to those that are competing. Certainly isn't stale anymore.
Yeah, because sorry, Ronnie, it probably is like, because you know the forests are so limited. It's always hard to find new roads and new sort of ways of taking the competitor. And you've pulled out all the stops this year.
Yeah, we've tried anyway. So. You have to try something.
Yeah.
We see after last year's 2D, you see, then we didn't know to go. If we want to go 2D next year for the 50th anniversary, we didn't want to be fit to do it this year again. So we dropped back a wee bit, but we've changed the route about a bit there, Lewis. It's mostly him and Derry. So but it'll be good, sure.
Aye, and like last year, you know, now that you mentioned last year, the 50th anniversary, the Friday night, that buzz was electric. I have never seen anything like it in my life before.
They're still chatting about it yet,
yeah.
swear. So you see, we couldn't replicate that this year. But hopefully we can next year.
Yes.
See, next year, Kevin, is our 50th.
Yeah, it's going to be 50
Yes.
years of the
And
Bushwhacker.
we're doing something exciting next year.
Just watch this space.
That'd be great.
Watch this space.
That's right.
Yeah,
We're
because
happening
like,
next year already, and this one hasn't even done yet.
like Loch Braden on the Friday night, like we were up at the top corner, and the amount of people that come walking in the lane, and like in the pitch dark, like, and it was amazing. Like there must have been 200 or 300 people there.
Is mighty in daylight. It must have been just awesome in the dark.
It was, yeah. The
We're
sound,
going
the
up
smells, everything.
this year, so it's going to be a little bit maybe less
We're
exciting.
going the opposite
We're going the opposite direction.
That's right. We're using a different finish, and that's
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because like Lewis, like you know, people say, "Oh, sure, the Bushwhackers are using the same ground all the time." Yes or not? Yes, or reversing the stages, finding new roads, and like, that's what it's always about, is reinventing.
And then from the competitors, I mean, last year we were on the 70-mile-an-hour average for the average speed. This year, because the Motorsport UK have increased that to 75 for gravel events, that makes a significant difference for us. Now these R5 cars are wow, they're so fast.
They keep getting faster.
And we have to try and slow them down, but not slow them down to the point that they're losing the value out of the corners and the junctions. Trying to put chicanes in locations just to slow them down, but we don't have the same number of chicanes in the big stages as we normally would have. So they were more open and more flowing for the drivers, we hope, this year.
Yeah. Because that's what the drivers want. They want to be taking the maximum out of the car, don't they?
They do, of course, they do. But they'll be a wee bit hesitant on it because they haven't been on some of these. These are virgin for them.
Yeah.
And the ones that have been, you don't remember what they're like, 12 years ago.
No.
And the cars behave differently on them and all the rest. But
even from year to year, the forest changes anyway with trees cut down and stuff, and it looks completely different, even though it is the same thing.
It's the same road, but the characteristics of it can change. So
Carrigaholden's the one. Carrigaholden, they've harvested a lot from Carrigaholden, and it's changed the whole outlook of
completely different.
It does.
And it is the same road,
and I suppose with like heavy lorries over it and everything else, it can flatten out bumps or it can create new bumps.
It's just a vision thing, Kevin. It's just that vision of a 5 right in the open looks so totally different from a 5 right with trees growing up inside of it.
I suddenly, before you're going down a narrow corridor, now all of a sudden it's wide open.
That's right.
You can see where you're going.
You can to a degree.
You think,
but the good drivers will be listening to the notes. They'll be okay.
That's the one, yeah. And like once again, you have pulled out the stops, a fantastic service area, and that is just like that is world class there too. Like everybody talks to you. You want tarmac, you want a solid base in the service area. You just have that there in spades.
You do. It'd be nicer if that service area was in Castledurg. It would be lovely. But it's not. And the service park is brilliant. It allows for everything to be used in the service park. It's really good for that.
Mm-hmm. And yes, as you say, if it was in Castledurg, it would be ideal. But being in Omagh, you're people coming in off, people that's maybe in the shop and maybe come in, what's going on here, and come in and have a look around as well too. And we need more new blood coming into the sport as well.
Well, we're looking. We would love to see new blood. In fact, Kevin, if you look around most of the clubs, they're struggling for new blood. And that's the same with people all over. Again, we're quite fortunate that we've got a reasonably number of young girls who are interested.
Under the 60 bracket too,
We're fast approaching that level. Me and Ronnie are the old boys in the club now. Used to be Hugo McDade and Patsy Baxter, but we've taken their place.
You've taken on that mantle now as well.
We have.
Exactly, of course, you need to be bald.
I can say nothing. So.
True. You take the course, Kevin.
But over the last few years, like Patrick O'Brien has made the event his own. He's going now for the 4 in a row. But is it something like less than 10 seconds that separates him and Kath McCord over 3 years? That just speaks volumes for the intensity of the event.
It was less than 10. Catherine's going to come good at some stage, but Patrick O'Brien, them guys are now just in a different league.
Yeah.
We don't see them. I mean, me and Ronnie were joking earlier on that we don't even know who wins the rally in some ways. You're so involved in what's going on. But we've seen a video of Paddy coming down to that corner in Loch Braden that you talked about being at the bottom of the hill. Yeah. And it was just jaw dropping.
Right
It
over the
was
brow. It was fantastic.
unreal. And you look at that and you realise that, you know, not taken away from anybody who's won the Bushwhacker in the past, but the commitment now of him and Kathleen and Vivian and you know, Craig, you know, they're wow, they're so fast. And the man who's missing from this event, who's not doing it, Big Niall, you know, this the speed of these guys and the commitment and the
he's
skill.
running 7 cars.
So he hasn't time to compete.
We're telling us
I reckon he's no cars left.
this should have been his event this year, you know, but he's not doing it. So
Well, it was his brainchild last year for the 2-day. Like
it was.
so he put all the work into that. Like so.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to him coming back in again and you know, giving us top
We'll still have him in the background.
Yeah.
Keeping a brief on the whole thing. Yeah.
And they need to visit.
Yeah. But you know, I spoke to some of the guys last week. You know, was competing, and you know, and we're wondering what is it that makes the Bushwhacker so special. It is the Donegal of gravel. You know, it is the one that they all want to win. It's the special rally of the year.
Yeah, well, it is Omagh Grand Prix. We used to call it.
It's probably a combination of things. I think it's first and foremost it's the forests that they compete at. They're good forests, and as I said, you know, to you earlier on off mic, you know, we have a man who now fixes our stages, who knows what the driver wants, who knows what's needed, Paul Barrett, and that's a big thing for us as well. The team, you know, that run the event, we would like to think that we're very competitor focused and friendly. Yes, we have rules to follow, of course we do, and if somebody breaks the rules, we have to follow them rules through. But generally speaking, we're a fairly approachable club, and a reasonable club to deal with. So I think in them two things, drivers and navigators like to compete in the Bushwhacker. It's also got the name of the guys who've won this, you know, the Robbie McGurks, the Kevin Lynch's, you know, them men that have put, you know, commitment in over the years. It's lovely to sort of see that. We're just actually looking down the entry list. We didn't realise Kenny McKinstry won it twice.
Yeah.
Four previous winners.
Yeah. I do it this year.
McKinstry, who's Martin Cairns, Derek McGarty, and then Paddy McBride. So that's four previous winners.
That speaks volumes that, you know, the likes of Kenny McKinstry, Derek McGarty are still coming back to the event now as well.
Yes.
Coming back is right.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, and wanting to be involved and all too.
Yep.
That's right.
And like Saturday morning, things kick off to leave. I suppose we should be telling people that the mark there in Omagh.
Omagh, yep. Scrutiny Friday night, and then the first car's away at 9:31 on Saturday morning. Yes. And they head out to Killeator, out to do the stage out there. Then over to Carrigaholton, then to Lochbraden and back in then for a service. And then and then repeat that again to do the whole loop. And the first car is back into Omagh at 3:45, 3:50. Right. So finishing up before 4 o'clock. So again, reasonable for the driver, not starting at 9:30 and, you know, finishing at sort of 4 o'clock on. We'll see how many come for the finish line.
And it's 41, 42 stage miles as well too, which is
just short of 42 stage miles, 41.4 miles of gravel and 110 road miles. So it's a good balance of things through there.
Yeah. And like, you know, I suppose like every club, you need marshals, you need people there on the ground as well.
We do, and I'm
sponsors too. We have to mention our sponsors.
I've a list of people to thank here. So I have. I suppose we do that now. Robert McAleer has been sponsoring us from 2009. You know, that's a commitment of 15 years. And we are very, very thankful for Robert and Darren both, who are very, 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 you know, keen. And Robert, of course, is competing.
Put a lot back on that people don't even know about.
They do, they do. And that's a big benefit for us and support for us, that we know he's got our back for that. But then when you go down then to, you know, the people who are putting the commitment in here, and you've mentioned our marshalling situation, Barry Arundel, our chief marshal, is unreal. Like, Barry can pull marshals from the moon, you know, and he's got a fantastic rapport with nearly all the marshals.
Everybody,
which is great, and we like that. But then you put the team in, the whole of the club are brilliant, but in particular Derek Graham and Aidan Baxter.
Safety.
Them guys are out on the stages, wet soaked to the skin, doing stuff, setting up. And then Derek's involved in you know, the administration side of things as well. And then you have Petey Kern, who's new to the club a couple of years ago and a real hard worker. Barry Arundel mentioned, Barry O'Neill, our secretary. Davy Kerr, who's a competitor himself. Aidan Donaghy, a competitor. Niall McCullough, Ronnie and Pat McAleer, and it's Pat's birthday this Saturday coming up. 94 years of age.
94.
And still loving every moment of it then.
Out working on the rally,
Yeah.
And then we've all the marshals, all the timekeepers who turn up in the day. They're so committed to it all. The showgrounds you mentioned, the fantastic service there, the Mark where we actually can have a server or a trailer park, and the forestry that we've got a fantastic working relationship with Kieran Cassidy and Dawson Jones, and that all comes down to personalities and people working with other people.
Chat to the people.
I talking to the people, letting people know what's happening, not springing on them yet.
Yes, that's right.
All our neighbouring clubs as well too, which fall in and gives a hand.
But you'd be
What you need on the day.
Yeah.
shocked at the amount of paperwork we have to get through. It's crazy, so it is.
Yeah. And Ronnie, you said there about all our clubs helping. Omagh Motor Club is the first club. Then the likes of Donegal, they're helping out, and Enniskillen they help out, and it's nice to see all that being repaid. Yeah, it's been repaid. Then
We go to them and they go to us, and that's it.
The problem is you see it, Kevin. You go around these clubs, you see the same faces,
Yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
And them faces are getting older.
They're getting no younger. That's for sure.
Whoever's listening to your podcast, we would encourage them to, if they're interested in
Join their local.
join the local club. We will give them a job, Kevin. We will, and if they're interested in doing stuff, we will push them through to do this. Like whenever I joined Omagh Motor Club, I didn't see me as a COC for an event, and doing the work that I'm doing now. And some young person coming in would do the very same thing.
Yeah.
It's about showing them and teaching them what they can do.
Aye. And it builds so many things. It gives you so many life skills as well too.
It totally does. It actually does.
I meet a lot of people too.
You do.
Yeah.
So
You meet some rare individuals. mostly good people. Mostly good. Well, funny, me and Ronnie were looking down through a list of stuff, and me and him started COC back in 90.
Was it 90?
No, 06. 06 was it?
06. Well, 07 was the 5 mile town.
Right, okay.
Wasn't it?
And
We've
been running the rally probably on and off, and Louise has been running it, but generally it's me and him together, or me and him apart, And whilst I might be the COC for the event this year, that's all I could not do this without the help of Ronnie and Derek and the whole team of people we've talked about. It's a massive team effort.
Yeah.
I don't want to run it anymore.
Couldn't.
Yeah.
It's not.
And Ronnie, your dad Pat there, he just said 94 now at the weekend, and he still goes to nearly every event. He still gets the same buzz. Does he still get the same excitement out of it? Oh, yeah.
He gets a great buzz out of it, especially all the other boys all come over and speak to him too. You see,
It keeps him fresh then too, doesn't it? And hearing all the stories and everything else then too. Yeah, so.
Sit out, sitting looking around him.
Yeah. And that's what rallying is so good. It brings out the best in people, doesn't it? People are so happy to talk and get to help other people out. The whole thing about no man left behind. They'll do anything to get somebody through a stage, or if they're stuck in their own station, help them out and keep them going.
But it goes beyond that too. I mean, the rallying fraternity are great. That I know if I lifted the phone and rang, many of my rally friends, if I was stuck to get something done, I could ring them and they would come and help out. We're also very thankful for the Irish Sligo Pellets Irish Championship. We're just counting up that we have 36 Irish crews coming to do the Bushwhacker. Now, some of them maybe would come anyway if we weren't part of the championship. But that championship's brilliant. We want to thank Deirdre and John for that. We're looking forward to their interaction over the weekend.
Because that's bringing people to Omagh that'll spend a night, maybe 2 nights up there as well too. That's filling hotel beds, it's filling restaurants, and it all just ripples out then too, doesn't it?
Does definitely.
John's bringing the family. He's bringing the whole. So that works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this, again, this is what we say about rallying. It's not just what's happening on that moment. It just ripples out that there's so much money being spent in the area as well. Too.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, men, yes. So, the other thing we need to mention is probably won't affect the competitors, but it might affect the spectators. There's a track run out of Scracky on Saturday, starting around about 1 o'clock. So, just for people to be aware of that too, if they're moving between stages.
Yeah, and we'd asked all the even driving up the roads, the minor road spectators, just try and slow down. We've tight roads, narrow roads that have spectator issues, sensitive issues, up around Killeator. And if you're spectating, then just back off the accelerator and drive a little bit easier through them narrow roads, please.
Yeah, and to listen to the marshals, listen to the officials, because
absolutely.
they're there for your benefit, you know, and if, without them, there will be no rally. Like, and
That's right.
Yeah. And for anybody that's looking to get, you know, times and one thing and another, there's a programme going to be available in local shops, not inclusive.
Local shops. I mean, around Killeator, it'll be in the wee shop at the post office in Killeator, and it's going to be from McCullough's shop in Campsie and Omagh, from Mo's shop in Fintona. There'll be a couple of other places that, and then of course the service park as well. Probably one there. I don't know where it's going to be in the dirt. I don't know. Pass.
I can't remember.
Well, we don't know.
It'll be on Facebook.
That's somebody else. It'll be on Facebook.
The Omagh Motor Club page. Go there. All the information there you need anyway. So.
And then the results will be on Rally Score as well.
Yeah.
Throughout the day.
Yeah. Well, man, thank you very much, and best luck at the weekend. And it looks as if this weather is going to make the event be the cherry on top.
I think it is, Kevin. Yeah. Good to talk to you.
Thank you. So thanks very much there to Lewis and Ronnie. Like, they are very busy men this week, so it was an absolute honour for them to take the time to have a chat with us. I really appreciate it, you know. So best luck to all competing at the weekend. Like, it's really looking forward to this one. Like, as we said before, this is going to be some rally, you know. And everyone stay safe. Hope the weather holds up for it. And until next time, take care, speak soon, and bye.